Happy Thursday, everybody, or Friday Eve, as a lot of folks like to call it. Thanks for joining us here for Wake Up Charlotte to Go. I'm Ben Thompson. We'll get to the news in just a second, but first, let's get a check at the forecast with Larry Sprinkle. Larry.
Hey, good morning. Checking across the area today, we have a view of uptown Charlotte, and the good news is every day this week, except today, we couldn't see the buildings. We can this morning. Those are fair weather clouds here. Areas of rain this morning north of the Charlotte area. Storms are possible for the afternoon, then more of the same tomorrow again on Saturday. Here it is, hour by hour lunchtime. We're at 83 degrees. The farther we get into the afternoon, the better chance we could see some storms out there. Temperatures for the most part in the mid-80s. Even around 10 o'clock tonight with mid-70s, we could see some storms out there at that time. Let's check it out. High today should be about 82 at Morganton, 73 at Boone, close to 90 degrees there at Lancaster, and mid-80s in the Queen City. Check our 7-day forecast. We'll hit the upper 80s Friday and Saturday. Look at Sunday afternoon. Sunshine. No storms in the forecast. A big warm-up on Monday. We're at 91 degrees, and then we're back to the mid-80s. Dry weather Wednesday of next week. That's your forecast this morning, Ben.
Larry, thanks. Turning now to our top stories of the day. Today, Governor Cooper expected to announce a new incentive to get the COVID vaccine here in North Carolina.
Good Thursday morning. Today, Governor Cooper plans to unveil the latest incentive plan that'll be statewide. It's a lottery system of sorts. We don't know many details, but it's for anyone who's taken or plans to take the vaccination. If you do so, you could be in a lottery and you could win money.
Good morning. I'm Billie Jean Shaw. A North Carolina bill could initiate several changes to how and what your child learns in the classroom. If passed, Senate Bill 654 would limit how many kids can enroll in North Carolina virtual academies. It would only allow 10% of district students to enroll. Senate Bill 654 would also delay implementation of the social studies standards the State Board of Education passed in February. If you remember, the standards allowed teachers to have explicit and transparent conversations about systemic racism, discrimination, and the perspectives of marginalized groups.
Right now, an urgent search underway for a missing woman who may be in immediate danger. Investigators looking for 18-year-old Jada Latimer. Police say she was in a fight with a man she knew and hasn't been seen since. Warrants are out for the arrest of 22-year-old Christopher Bailey in connection to the case. He's accused of kidnapping and assault. Anybody with information is asked to call 911 immediately. Two local school districts hosting vaccine clinics today. In Fort Mill, today is the last day of the clinic at Pleasant Knoll Middle School. Students, staff, family members can get vaccinated starting at 3:30. Appointments are required. And Chester County Schools will host a vaccine clinic today. Students 16 and older will receive their second doses at all three of the district's high schools. Permission slips are required.
Good morning, everybody. People across the country are talking about some shortages in supplies once again as a huge supply chain issue starts to affect things like your Starbucks drink and lumber. If you know anybody that's been renovating or maybe building a house, you know that they've had a difficult time getting their hands on the supplies that they need to do that. Well, there's a long list of items that we're running short of at the time being. Take a look at your screen. You'll see everything from, we have the gas, we have computer chips, lumber, diapers, plastic, and toilet paper. Yes, again. Even your favorite restaurants. They're not immune to these issues. Chipotle is having to up their prices to offset the cost of getting the supplies. And Starbucks can't get a lot of its flavorings. This TikTok video went viral showing a list at one store of everything that they're out of, from white mocha to caramel and chai, and even their drink trays. There are a couple of reasons that we're seeing these problems. Not only does a shortage in workers and truck drivers make it a problem to get things shipped, but it also drives up the prices. Most of the time, that means that we as the consumer will be paying more for what we buy. And here in Charlotte, we're getting hit really hard in the lumber department specifically. We talked to a lumber store owner about how their prices have skyrocketed.
You can't get material, treated, plywood, OSB, across the board.
The list goes on. Drop a comment below if you are seeing a shortage in something and what it is, or use our hashtag WakeUpCLT. Ben, back to you.
Rachel, thanks. Time now to connect the dots. When we make the news, make sense. Lots of businesses were hit hard by the pandemic. We know that. But experts say COVID-19 may have accelerated the decline of dry cleaners.
The pandemic may have dealt a final blow to dry cleaners, all because of a change in how we work. Let's connect the dots. The industry was already struggling before 2020. Most workplaces were already shifting to less formal dress codes, and people were buying more wash and wear fabrics. Then, when the coronavirus hit and so many people started working from home, business plummeted. Now people are starting to return to the office, but not necessarily in the suits and skirts they were before. They're now looking for business clothes that are more comfortable, and that means no dry cleaning required. Experts now expect 30% of all dry cleaners to close in the next 12 to 14 months. According to the Dry Cleaning and Laundry Institute, the real problem is not just the loss of stores, but a reliable business for immigrants. In years past, being a dry cleaner was a promising path to middle-class life for new arrivals to the U.S. Now that path is looking a lot more bumpy, and that is connecting the dots.
And it's certainly sad to see as well. Make sure you tune in every single morning over on our broadcast show, Wake Up Charlotte, on WCNC Charlotte, starting at 4:30 every morning.